Hey y'all, Max here. So today we need to talk about the difficulties of PlayStation Plus Premium. This subscription service has now been out for a couple weeks, and for the most part, it feels like the reception has been very positive. The fact that it has almost 1,000 games, ranging from stuff like God of War, Returnal, things like Spider-Man, alongside a bunch of classics. They have these retro emulators on the console now, so you can actually play classic PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. It's insane to see like Dark Cloud and Ape Escape not only come back, but very good looking, with new features, new resolutions, new trophy support. But there has been a gigantic glaring problem that pretty much everybody hates, which is the PlayStation 3 problem, which I want to talk about because it seems like Sony is about to fix it. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, I hope you're having a very good day. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So what's going on is this strange article that's just popped up over on PlayStation Universe, and it talks about the fact that Sony is currently doing some very mass hiring for a software engineer team that's going to be working with the classics to help develop new emulators. Now, what this essentially means is that it sounds like not only are they wanting to put more games on the PlayStation Plus service, obviously we knew that there's more stuff coming very soon, but basically it seems like they're trying to strive to make it so those weird black holes, stuff like the PlayStation Vita or the PlayStation 3, those can finally be filled. Now, what's interesting is this popped up over on LinkedIn, and once people spotted it, they were like, this seems very specific. The fact that they're saying this is going to be a classics team, it seems like they've got to be maintaining the current titles as well as adding new stuff. But the part of this that's really the most interesting is I decided to look at it myself. This is a reposting of it over on Reset Era, and they talk about the fact that inside the job qualifications listing, it sounds like they want to get people with 10 years experience, so people that obviously know exactly what they're doing. But I noticed that they actually said right here, we want people who have hands-on experience already working on games that are AA or AAA inside the PlayStation console ecosystem. They want people who can know what is going on, who can hit the ground running, and additionally don't need to be taught how to work with these new pieces of hardware going into this. But more interesting than that, it does seem specifically that this is about trying to get them to work on a way to get PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games to run inside of PlayStation Plus Premium. Look, I'll be honest, I absolutely love the PlayStation Plus Premium service as it currently exists. My biggest problem is that I just want more of it. I think the games we have are superb. I think the retro games they've chosen for launch are good. I want more of them, but it feels like what they're trying to do, this idea of bringing back the most classic and beloved PlayStation games in a playable format on current tech, it seems brilliant. But here is the big problem that I feel like a lot of people sort of don't understand. The PlayStation 3 is a bit of a train wreck. Now, obviously the games are fun, the controller was great when it initially came out. The biggest problem with the PlayStation 3 and getting it to run on PlayStation Plus Premium is that as it currently stands, it's flat out impossible. So inside the PlayStation 3, they had this weird idea that was called asymmetrical processors, which I'm not going to go too deep into because it's big old technical gobbledygook. But what this means on paper is that they tried to make it so that in order to have the most photorealistic graphics way before anybody else in the industry could even attempt it, they put in these really weird, really scattershot processors within the PlayStation 3. It made it more powerful, it made it more visceral in a lot of ways, but if you made a game for the PlayStation 3, it basically cannot run on anything else. The PlayStation 3 is such scrambled eggs of gaming that trying to get those games to work on another console, you basically have to rebuild the entire game from scratch, line by line, to get it to work on another system. That's why there are some very good PlayStation 3 exclusives that are stuck there forever, is simply because even with the better processing power, it's hard to get it to run on a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 5. Sony is still just stuck paying for their past sins. People in the replies here of this particular tweet are properly pointing out the fact that the guy who developed the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, Mark Cerny, he wanted to be as approachable as possible from the developer standpoints. Maybe you've noticed the fact that there are literally thousands of PlayStation 4 games, and that is in a large part because it's just so easy to make PlayStation 4 games. The dev code, the accessibility, like the backend is so hilariously easy, it makes it so every single indie dev or AAA experience or open world game is easy to build on the PlayStation 4, at least in the context of game development, which is obviously difficult. So right now, as it currently stands, I know a lot of people are very, very straight up annoyed that if you want to play the PlayStation Plus premium version of PS3 games, they have to be streamed. They cannot be downloaded. They cannot be played directly. They have to be streamed from the cloud. Now, what sucks about this is that as it currently stands, there's about 800 PlayStation Plus premium games inside the games catalog. About half of these are streamed PlayStation 3 games. This almost feels like false advertising in a way because as good as this catalog is, if you don't have a fast internet connection, that 800 number is really a big fat 400. And when I mean fast internet, you truly need to have some very, very fast internet to stream a PlayStation 3 game in any sort of playable state. Like if you actually want to try and beat God of War or play a racing game or something like that, you better have some blisteringly fast gigabit or else it's just not happening. So if Sony is able to get a skilled team of developers together to make a fully developed and functioning PlayStation 3 emulator and a PlayStation Vita emulator, this is a big, gigantic W. Like, I feel like you guys are not realizing how massive this is going to be for a couple different reasons. First and foremost, Sony still owns the development rights to a bunch of huge catalogs of PlayStation 3 games. As soon as they get this working natively, like you're going to be able to download PlayStation 3 games on your current consoles, this is going to blow open the gates of huge, awesome games that we have been begging to come to current consoles. Like straight up, so many weird RPGs, classic stuff, obscure games are going to be playable and sellable and buyable and beatable on current consoles with current trophy support and maybe even online play returning. All of that might be inside of this emulator. And my biggest hope is that the emulator itself is going to be as flawless as people have managed to get it to work on PC. So in secret, there have been these people who have very much been trying to challenge themselves by making a PlayStation 3 emulator that works on PC right now, basically making it so it could run a fake version of the PlayStation 3 with the game stacked on top, a delicious gaming sandwich of complex code. If people can get it to work on PCs, I am very, very, very confident that they can get this to run together on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. When this happens, I mean, seriously, this is going to be epic. Additionally, I am very biased. I do want to get the PlayStation Vita to work as well. I love the PlayStation Vita. Some of my most popular viral videos back in the day were talking about the PlayStation Vita. I'm so curious to see how this actually shapes up. Additionally, I do fully see a lot of talk about the fact that if they manage to refine these emulators, it means we're going to get more classic games as well. It seems like these PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games that have been coming over thus far, it sounds that the developers up until now have been just forced to rework the entire games as they currently exist to make them run on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. I mean, basically saying they have to rebuild, like, for example, Ape Escape or Siphon Filter has to be entirely rebuilt inside of the PlayStation 4 to make these work. That does kind of suck. If they manage to find a way to streamline this with even more improved emulator processes, that's going to be epic. I honestly want to see tons and tons and tons and tons of retro games come over as fast as possible. Give me Grandia. Give me the gloriousness of weird, quirky RPGs or stuff like 3D dot-bit heroes. Like, I want to see those weird, eclectic things. Give me the Puppeteer. Give me those weird experiences that may not be AAA, but in my opinion, they are what made the PlayStation 3 the PlayStation 3. But what do you think about this? Is this something that could actually win you over to the idea of PlayStation Plus Premium? Because as it currently stands, I still see a lot of conflicted nature about it. I still see a lot of conversation of people saying like, okay, I love classic games, I love retro stuff, but paying a subscription service to access these games I may have beaten in the past already, that sounds like a big L to me. To me, it's a W, but what do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all, and keep dreaming. I'll be honest, my freaking camera has been saying it's at 5% charge the whole time I was filming this video. I'm shocked it did not shut off. Thank you, camera, for not sucking 8 flaccid dicks. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.